Oh, to see his last artist is Glorilla. She doing crazy because he putting a crazy bag behind Glorilla. You sent that type of energy towards the Young Dolph way, and you got no Young Dolph knocked off.
The storm brewing around CMG feels less like industry gossip and more like a pressure cooker set to explode. A slow-burning story that started years ago and has now grown into something too large, too loud, and too dangerous to ignore. The energy behind it all stretches far beyond petty disagreements or label politics. It goes back to cycles of street tension, Memphis pride, and choices made long before the spotlight. The truth is simple. In a city where everything comes back full circle, the past never stays buried. And when you mix that past with fame, power, loyalty, and betrayal, things begin to unravel in ways no one can control. From the beginning, there was always this feeling that the energy Yo Gotti put into the world would find its way back. Memphis isn't the kind of city that lets anything slide. Every decision, every rivalry, every move carries weight. Stan G, one of the most tuned-in voices in the streets, sat down on No Jumper and didn't hesitate to pull back the curtain. He didn't speak lightly, and he didn't throw vague hints. He laid it out like someone who has seen the pieces fall firsthand. In his eyes, the same energy Gotti allegedly directed toward Young Dolph was the energy that ultimately led to Dolph's death. And if that kind of force could be aimed outward, what would stop it from turning inward once the walls around CMG started tightening? Stan G made it clear. Blac Youngsta wasn't just another rapper on the label. He was the one pushed into the fire, the one who said and did the things others wouldn't dare to attempt publicly. He was the loud voice, the shock factor, the wild card that kept CMG buzzing no matter what. In the early days, it looked like power, raw, aggressive, and effective. But with Dolph's case still lingering in the air and the city watching every move CMG makes, that same wild energy has become a liability. The kind of liability that executives and bosses don't tolerate for long. And Stan G didn't mince words when he said Youngsta was essentially a sendout, someone pushed into positions designed to shield the people above him. The shift inside CMG has been happening slowly but visibly. There was a time when Gotti's label looked untouchable. Moneybagg Yo was dominating the charts, Blac Youngsta kept the label viral with his antics, and Glorilla skyrocketed into stardom with Gotti investing heavy behind her. From the outside, it looked like a dynasty. But somewhere along the line, the shine started fading. Moneybagg's run slowed down. Youngsta's noise died out. And now it feels like the entire CMG weight rests on Glorilla, the only artist still burning bright and bringing clean momentum. Instead of a powerhouse label, the energy has shifted into something cautious, something tense, something that feels like survival. Then the real signs of trouble started showing. Blac Youngsta wiping CMG from his bio. Cryptic captions. Long emotional rants calling out fake CEOs, fake big homies, fake brothers. Every word dripping with disappointment, pain, and frustration. None of it sounded like trolling. It sounded like a man who realized the loyalty he had been giving wasn't coming back the same way. Fans noticed. The streets noticed. Even industry watchers noticed. And with Stan G's warnings hovering in the background, each post hit like another crack forming in what used to be a solid foundation. To understand why this situation feels so heavy, you have to go back to Young Dolph. When Dolph rejected Gotti's attempt to sign him, it wasn't just business. It was a public moment of independence, something that bruised egos and lit a spark that would burn for years. Gotti didn't take rejection lightly. Dolph didn't back down. Diss tracks flew back and forth. Interviews added fuel to the fire. And street tension began mixing with the music. Blac Youngsta placed himself right in the middle of it, doing things that no major artist in his position would think of doing. Pulling up to neighborhoods, making videos in enemy zones, playing with fire in ways that had long-term consequences. Even Stan G called it out as a federal move. Too reckless, too bold, too risky. And then came the aftermath. Dolph was killed, the city erupted, and eyes turned towards CMG. Even Gotti's own brother, Big Juke, was pulled in and questioned. Those moments shifted the entire atmosphere around the label. Everything became more intense, more suspicious, more watched. When the man accused of killing Dolph was acquitted, that pressure rose again like a heat wave. And right in that unstable environment, Blac Youngsta released a music video at a gravesite, next to a stone carrying Dolph's last name. A move that didn't look confident or loyal. It looked dangerous. To the public, it seemed like he was playing a role he didn't realize had already become too heavy to carry. To Gotti, it looked like disaster. From there, CMG's energy never returned to what it used to be. The empire began feeling hollow. The unity looked forced. And Blac Youngsta's silence, after years of loudness, became the loudest signal yet. Now the streets are whispering louder than ever. They're saying Youngsta's emotional posts weren't random. They were warnings. They were realizations. They were the confessions of someone who feels abandoned after years of being the frontline soldier. They were shots fired at someone he once called a boss. And Yo Gotti's subtle responses, the coded bars, the mafia-styled messages. It all feels like two people speaking from opposite ends of a broken bridge that can't be rebuilt. But this isn't normal label tension. This isn't an argument over contracts or releases. This is Memphis. This is legacy. This is the aftermath of a murder that still sits heavy over an entire city. And when two men with power, pride, and influence stand on opposite sides of that kind of history, the consequences can get dark fast. Blac Youngsta isn't built to bow down quietly. Gotti isn't built to lose control of his empire. And that's what makes this moment so dangerous. If this situation explodes, the fallout won't stay confined to music. It'll spill out into the places where reputations, alliances, and street codes matter more than streams or charts. CMG isn't collapsing quietly. It's cracking in public, piece by piece. And as those pieces fall, the question becomes clearer each day. Is Yo Gotti trying to cut off the chaos, or is Blac Youngsta pushing back against something he's finally seeing for what it really is? This story is far from over, and the next move might decide the fate of both men, and the entire CMG legacy. If you've been following the rise and fall of this empire, I want to hear from you. Did Blac Youngsta go too far? Or is Yo Gotti really turning his back on his own? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into stories shaping the culture, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown.